Good, 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 good. Recording. Go on, do your thing. Good. Right. Jason, you're warmed up. Can you say for me? I'm happy to have. I'm happy I got dressed. I'm happy I got dressed.
Je suis content de m'être habillé.
Good. A little bit louder because Susan's microphone's pulling focus.
Je suis content de m'être habillé.
Lovely. Okay. Luke, I'm happy that you got dressed.
Je suis content que tu te sois habillé.
Good. Okay. Lovely. If I'd known I needed to wear blue, I would have worn something blue when I got dressed this morning. If I'd known I needed to wear blue, I would have worn blue when I got dressed this morning.
Si j'avais su que j'avais besoin de mettre quelque chose de bleu ce matin, je me serais habillé quelque chose de bleu ce matin.
So, je me serais habillé en quelque chose en bleu, or j'aurais mis quelque chose, you know, so j'aurais mis. So, Susan.
No way to start the vacation.
Sad. I can hear just general, like, thick Southerners. It's terrible, terrible. I can hear them. You can hear them. Susan, can you just mute the microphone? Because the group thing goes, oh, there's somebody, whatever. Good. Nina. Luke, I always wear the same colour as you because I've got a hidden webcam in your bedroom. I've seen all kinds of crazy things. Luke, I always wear the same colour as you because I've got a hidden webcam in your bedroom. I've seen all kinds of crazy things.
Luc, je porte toujours la même couleur de toi. J'ai un caméra caché dans ta chambre et j'ai vu toutes sortes de choses bizarres.
Lovely. So Luke, je porte toujours la même couleur que toi. J'ai une webcam cachée dans ta chambre et j'ai vu toutes sortes is lovely, de choses bizarres. There you go. I've muted Madam for a second. Good. Okay. Lovely. One more time, Nina. So feel it, just feel it. Oh Luc, moi je porte toujours la même couleur que toi parce que tu as en fait, j'ai une webcam cachée dans ta chambre et j'ai vu toutes sortes de choses bizarres. Feel it, feel it, feel it. Submitting the things that are like important, blurring the rest. Speed isn't an issue, but not interest, and interest is my issue. Off you go.
Luc, mais bien sûr que je porte la même couleur que toi. Et j'ai une caméra cachée dans ta chambre.
No, I didn't say camera, did I?
Ah non.
Linguist, listen, webcam.
J'ai un webcam caché dans ta chambre. Et en fait, j'avais vu un tas de choses.
Good. J'ai vu, because it's I've seen. Yeah, as in up until now, I've seen. Good. Okay. Maggie. I tried to do the same thing, Luke, but unfortunately, my daughter saw it. Luke, I tried to do the same thing, but unfortunately, my daughter saw it.
Luc, j'ai essayé de faire la même chose, mais malheureusement, ma fille l'a vu.
Good, good. When we have a sentence like this, and you guys are getting through it, do just have a little self-check on where was the problem? As in, oh, was it going into an auxiliary there by saying my daughter rather than she? Yeah, was it possibly the fact that I had a pronoun, so rather than the a vu? So as in, don't just go, yay, I've got to the end of the sentence. Do just ask yourself why that thing was the problem, okay? And that's often something you guys have got to answer, not me, yeah? You know, so lovely, you got through it, great, but, you know, so, yeah, good. And then obviously check it again and, you know, just say for me, ma fille l'a vu.
Ma fille m'a vu. Ma fille m'a vu.
Good. Okay. Let's just check if Susan's back. If she's through the thing. how do I unmute her? Susan? Oh shit, how do I unmute her? Does she have to unmute herself? Possibly. Susan, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself? Because I click mute. I think you need to unmute yourself though. I just pulled off the label because it was bothering my neck. But I was like, oh, I hope it wasn't a really nice one. In which case I'm just like, oh shit, stick the Chanel back on. But no, it was only Gap. That's okay. Susan, Jason C muted Susan Monroe.
I was trying to unmute her, seeing if I could unmute her.
Right.
Susan,
Now
if
I'm
you're
unmuted.
There you go.
Are you there, Jason? Are you there, Susan?
Yes.
Yeah. So say for me, I took it badly because Jason wanted me to shut up. I took it badly because Jason wanted me to shut up.
Je l'ai pris mauvaisement parce que.
I'm sorry. Whilst I'm normally happy for people to get to the end of the sentence, badly.
Mal.
Yes. Everybody points at Susan. That was such a horrible error. Everybody points at Susan. Fucking mauvaisement. All right, off you go. Off you go. I took it badly. I took it badly because Jason wanted me to shut up.
Je l'ai mal pris parce que Jason a voulu que je t'essaye.
Pause. What's the verb to shut up?
Taire.
Great.
Se taire.
Jason wanted that. I can't hear you, Susan. Put your mouth into the phone, my darling. Oh. We need to call her back. Somebody take over for a second. So, Maggie, what's the verb to shut up?
Se taire.
Great. Lovely. I'd have been gutted if you'd have got that wrong, bearing in mind that we just needed to do it. Okay, let's call Madam back. Okay, so, lovely. So, what is it going to be in the Jason voulait que je me? What form of language is going to come after voulait que je?
Oh, it's going to be subjunctive.
And what will the subjunctive be of se taire?
Se soit taire or
No, you daft thing. Right. We only use a soit if we're in an auxiliary tense. Susan, are you back?
I'm back. I'm sorry.
Right. What's the subjunctive of se taire? Jason voulait que je me. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You need to shout louder.
Je me tais.
No, that's the normal. Why would that be in any way subjunctive?
Je me tais.
Je me tais.
Je me tais.
Okay. Play with your microphone, Susan, to see if you can change the settings, right? Because for some reason I can hear all the background people, but we can't hear you. Okay. So, lovely. So, in other words, Maggie, we're not going to use soit because the only time I'd use soit in the subjunctive either A, be if my verb was the verb to be, or B, if I was going in a form of the language which had an auxiliary and the auxiliary was the verb to be. Lovely. So say to me, Jason voulait que je me taise. Monroe said to me, Jason voulait que je me taise.
Jason voulait que je me taise.
That's just not clear, Susan. I don't know what's going on. Anyway.
Jason voulait.
No, it's just like you're not here. The microphone's poo. Have a little go.
Jason voulait que je me taise.
That's a bit better. Right up close to it. That's it. Put your hand around it. If you're walking with people, just put your hand around it like that, and then I'll get it you better. Good. Nina. Notice, by the way, then that's the imperfect subjunctive, and in conversation that will be the normal subjunctive. Yeah, we don't need any imperfect subjunctive in conversation. In older classic literature, we'll be with a parlas, parlahati. Parlation, parlassier, parlas, but not in the spoken language. Very commonly in the subjunctive. So strictly speaking, if you have a was after your que, and that's meant to be subjunctive, strictly speaking, you are still meant to do the same subjunctive. So for example, I am happy that Nina is here. Je suis content que Nina soit là. I was happy that Nina was there. Alors moi, j'étais content que Nina soit là. We are meant to say. There's a very high occurrence rate of particularly young people not using the subjunctive if the verb is not in the present tense. So they'll say, oh, oui, moi, j'étais très content que Nina était là. That happens, but really, soit là should be correct. what will often happen, which people are more comfortable with, weirdly, even though you're using a was after the que, is that people will go into the past subjunctive. So, for example, alors moi j'étais très content que Nina ait été là. So they like, oh, that's a fine one. So let's be honest, when we talk about the past subjunctive, we mean the subjunctive with an auxiliary. Yeah, with an auxiliary. Obviously, the was is a form of the subjunctive in the past, but we don't, oh, Susan, your shade of blue looks very nice. We don't need that. We get it in Spanish, we get two in Spanish, we get it in Italian, we don't get it in French anymore. Good. Jason, no, Maggie, save me. Luke, when you talk about the subjunctive, it excites me, and I have to go and talk about it to Howard. Luke, when you talk about the subjunctive, it excites me, and I have to go and talk about it. I have to go and talk about it with Howard.
Luc, quand tu parles à ce sujet du le subjonctif, je suis très
Yes.
excitant. Je dois en parler avec Howard.
Right. So well done with the je dois en parler. When you talk about there's a lady that used to be in the group called Wendy, and whenever you said the word about, Wendy would say à propos de, and I'm like, there's other ways of saying about. There's a really good video on about, by the way. There's a video about. Au sujet de has its place. À propos de has its place. Il s'agit de, thematically, what's it about has its place. Ça consiste de has its place. But do you know what the number one word for about is, Maggie? De. And you know that because you've just beautifully at the end of the sentence said, I go and talk about it with Howard. Je vais en parler with Howard. So the fact that you could use an on is because the thing that you're using there is a de. So in other words, whenever we want to just say, a basic about, just use de, like for the most part, okay? So have another go again.
Can I just ask you a question?
Of course you may.
When I say I'm excited.
Oh, right. Yes. So I was wondering if you'd hit that differently the second time. Excité is not sexual. It's a complete fallacy. Excité means physically excited. Okay. So I could say to children who are prepubescent, ne t'excite pas. Don't get worked up. It doesn't mean a state of arousal.
Okay.
It can do. Oh, il est tout excité. Ça m'excite. Ooh, and so whether sarcastically or for real, you're saying that turns me on. Oui, ça me chauffe. Whatever, but ça m'excite. Of course you can do that, but it doesn't just mean. We're just saying if you mean, oh, we're all going to go to France this year. I'm excited. I wouldn't say just use excité because physically I'm not excited. As good as you did look in your shorts, Jason. The fact is, I'd say, ouais, je suis motivé, je suis enthousiaste, j'ai hâte. Yeah, and that's just where English is better. And also the risk of sounding like a dick, it's maybe just a cultural thing that we just don't talk about being excited as much in France. Maybe we're just a bit more morose, do you know what I mean? So in other words, it excites me when you talk about the subjunctive. Ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif. Yeah, okay. And I have to go and talk about it with Howard, et je dois aller m'en parler avec Howard. Ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif, et je dois aller m'en parler avec Howard. Put it together for me, Maggie, one more go.
Ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif et je dois aller en parler avec Howard.
Good. I want the vowel all the way through. We're just moving the. Let me see if I can do this with. Oh, I can now. So the light of the vibration. So it's just the moving. So ça. So we've got high vowel versus low vowel. So ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif et je dois aller en parler avec Howard. All right. Okay. That was quite useful. So it's like, yeah, so go again and get the slide. So in other words, try and bring me Scoobies. There's a really advanced project that we can do, which is called Count the Scoobies in a Sentence, which is to suddenly try and learn how many times you go up and down in a sentence. But that's really advanced, but we won't do just that yet. But just say for me, ouais, ça m'excite. Ouais, ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif et je dois aller m'en parler avec Howard. Ouais, ça m'excite quand tu parles du Luc, ça m'excite quand tu parles du subjonctif et je dois aller m'en parler avec Howard.
Luc, ça m'excite quand tu parles avec...
Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. This stuff, you'll be like, oh, the big old gay, and it's his silly, like, you know, whatever. This attention to detail on the bleh will really, so do you know I said you turned a corner when you started joining, Maggie? And I said that you'll really find that you start remembering stuff. This extra bit of fluidity will absolutely like mean that you say a sentence once in a class, you'll have it the following week. It really will. It will make such a difference to your muscle memory. It really will. Okay, good. Anything you can do, any of our little projects, you know, anything you can do, the highs and the lows, the which words we stress, the human stories, the mouth closed, any of those things which increase your speaking will increase your listening and will also increase your memory. Job done. All right. Good. Let's go to Susan. Susan. Luke, are you proud of me for wearing... Sorry, Luke, are you proud of me? No, Luke, I'm proud that I have worn the right colour for the class, even though I'm at the airport. Luke, I'm proud that I've worn the right colour for the class, even though I'm at the airport.
Luc, je suis fière que j'ai porté le couleur correcte, même que je sois au aéroport.
Je suis fier que would give me a subjunctive, wouldn't it? Yeah?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
je suis fier and j'ai porté would be the same person. And as per the rather gorgeous little pink videos that have gone up this week, what do I need instead of that then, Susan?
You need d'avoir porté.
I do indeed. Je suis fier d'avoir porté. That's it, because it's the same person. We occasionally drop them out. We do, especially if we think of the second thing afterwards. Alors, moi, je suis content que, moi, je suis, you know, but it's just better French to try and aim for that. Right. Okay, so off you go. So I'm happy I wore the same colour. No, sorry, the right colour, the right colour.
Je suis content que j'ai porté le couleur correcte.
Go back
je
again.
suis content d'avoir... Sorry. Je suis content d'avoir porté le couleur correcte.
No, now that's a little bit beneath you. The right colour. What's the right colour?
Okay, le bon couleur.
Le.
La
Go again, the
bonne
right colour.
couleur. Je suis fière d'avoir porté la bonne couleur.
Even though I'm at the airport.
Bien que je sois à l'aéroport.
Say the word airport on its own.
Aéroport.
Aéroport. Now say the airport.
L'aéroport.
L'aéroport. We've got aé. Aé.
L'aéroport.
Not l'aéro, not aero. Aéro. We've got aé. Aéroport.
L'aéroport.
Say for me aé. Before you even get to the row, you've got two vowels before the row. Aéro.
Aéro.
That's nice. Then pop a le at the beginning. L'aéroport.
Aéroport.
A cheat is to imagine that the word is called aéroport and that you're saying la aéroport. Not that you would, because obviously if the word hypothetically were aéroport, you'd say l'aéroport. But imagine, so l'aéroport. Okay, good. Good. Nina? Being in an airport makes me sad because I really want to come and see my friend Nick in London. Being in an airport makes me sad because I really want to come and see my friend in Nick in London.
Étant dans un aéroport me fait triste parce que je dois vraiment rendre visite à mon ami Nicolas à Londres.
No, I'm happy with rendre visite à. I'm not happy with faire and triste.
Did
What?
I say that?
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said wrong. No.
You know, you used it with rendre visite à. Also, étant is being if you were there. Okay, kind of thing. So if you sort of said, being American, I have access to whatever, the vaccination or something like that, you know, étant américain, you know. But if you like, being in an airport would make me sad, you know, makes me sad, you know, like the idea of it, être, just être. Okay. If you use an activity, you know, Susan, you'll have come across in the Spanish where we need to put like a the before it, you know, or al and all this kind of stuff. But if you just literally talk about an activity and that activity is a verb, be it an ing, so horse riding, faire du cheval, you know, using the right verb is a good idea. You know, utiliser le bon verbe. You know, we can just go straight into the infinitive there. French is surprisingly chill on that. Yeah. Okay. So être à l'aéroport me rend triste, or m'attriste in kind of like higher level French, but we don't. That's like saddens me. But you know, me rend triste is fine. So if it's I am at the airport, and because I'm here, like say you were going to go and visit, you know, like another friend, but you weren't coming to Europe, then you could have used à force d'être à l'aéroport. But if it's just being at an airport would make me sad or something, you know, être à l'aéroport me rendrait triste parce que whatever, that would be that. Good. Jason, Luke, if I'm not mistaken, the next time I'll be at an airport will be to come to Europe in, when is it you're coming, May or something?
June.
So Luke, if I'm not mistaken, the next time I'll be, Luke, if I'm not mistaken, when I'm at an airport the next time, I'll be taking, I'll be coming to Europe. Luke, if I'm not mistaken, when I'm at an airport next time, I'll be coming to Europe.
Luke, si je ne me trompe pas, la dernière fois que je serai dans un aéroport, ça sera quand j'irai au Europe. En juin.
Pause. The next time.
La prochaine fois.
When I am in an airport.
Quand je suis dans un aéroport.
When I use quand to talk about the future, I need the future. Yeah. So when I'm in an airport.
Quand je serai dans un aéroport.
Or at. No, remember that we can use at. People don't like at. They're like, oh, I'd rather use dans. But remember, quand je serai à l'aéroport. And sometimes with the, we use a the in a general way. Like at the airport, like generally at the airport. You know, la prochaine fois quand je suis. So one could have said à un or à l'aéroport. I will be coming to Europe. How would you say I'm going to come to France?
Je vais aller en France.
Or being as the person you're speaking to is in Europe, you know, je vais venir en Europe then. So yeah, so notice that we could use venir if we're coming this direction. So the same with Europe then. So en. Aux États-Unis. Tu habites aux États-Unis? Je vais aller aux États-Unis. You know, je vais venir aux États-Unis. Oh. Good, so put it together for me. Luc, la prochaine fois, quand je serai à l'aéroport, je vais venir en Europe.
Luc, la prochaine fois que je serai à un aéroport, je vais venir en Europe.
Good. Quand je serai, not que je serai. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Nina. No, Maggie. We're doing that. They've got to go around to get that way. He's looking forward to showing his kids the places he visited when he visited Luke. He's looking forward to showing his kids the places he visited when he visited Luke.
il a hâte de montrer à ses enfants l'endroit qu'il a visité quand il a j'ai oublié, il voit
When he visited Luke.
quand il est rendu visiter Luc.
Almost. Go again. Same thing. Don't overthink it. Just try again. He's looking forward to showing his kids the places that he visited when he visited Luke. A lot of it was good. Just try again.
Il a hâte de montrer à ses enfants les endroits quand il
The places he visited. The places he visited.
Les endroits qu'il a visités
When he visited Luke.
quand il est
Action when he visited Luke.
Quand il a rendu visite à Luc.
Now that time, with a little bit of shoulder support, there wasn't a grammatical error. Okay, so il a hâte, not il est hâte. Do we care if the brain knows it and the mouth doesn't know it? We get no points. If it's wrong, it's wrong, all right? So be careful. So what's quite useful with this is voice memo. Just be in the first sentence mood, as I always say. Get your voice memo, you know, open your red, you know, and just literally just, you know, just you know, can we see that one? Just hit it straight away and just, you know, all right, so let's do it. So oui, il a hâte de whatever. All right, now what's really gorgeous about that is you guys don't quite always know where you waited and where you rested in a sentence. You don't quite always know that, but you're good enough French speakers to hear it if you listen back to it. So then we press, you know, and then we listen back to the thing, you know, whatever. Yeah, you know, same thing, and it will tell us that. Okay, so be friends with voice memo, instantly delete it. In other words, you can teach yourself, you can edit yourself. You'll often hear other people make mistakes and then make them yourself, but you'll know that happens. So voice memo is our friend. Nothing more than this first sentence. Press record, say it. It just allows you to check, did I say that? Did I rest there? It's fabulous. At this advanced level, it's fabulous. Right, so in other words, in the end, you got me everything correct, but let's just clear it up then. So il a hâte, because it's have, haste. Il a hâte.
Il a hâte, oui.
De montrer à sa famille. Well done, because it's indirect, because he's showing the places to his family. All, you know, the places, plural, les endroits. Yeah, okay. That he visited, qu'il a visité, with an S on the end, by the way, because you can visit a place. When he visited Luke, different verb, well done, thank you for not falling into the trap. Quand il a rendu visite à Luc. Ouais, il a hâte de montrer à sa famille les endroits. Did I say Emily? Yeah, no, his family. Yeah. Ouais, il a hâte de montrer à sa famille les endroits qu'il a visités quand il a rendu visite à Luc. Good. I'm just popping to the bathroom, grabbing a coffee. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Susan, I'm very impressed you're doing this at the airport.
I know, really.
Going around
It was much more stressful than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure this is a great idea, but I'm on.
Well done.
I went through security, and then I was trying to fix the phone, and when I was trying to fix the phone, I got confused and walked back out the wrong way and had to come in and go back through security again. It's been a disaster. It's a little bit of a disaster, but and it's about 1,000 degrees in here. Oh my gosh.
Where are you heading up to?
I'm heading home from Philly. I
Oh.
came up to see my daughter for a week.
Cool.
So, yeah. So I'm in the beautiful Philadelphia airport right now. It's lovely.
What time's your flight?
It's at 1:20.
Okay, which I don't know what that means actually.
Yeah. I think they're getting ready to board me, actually. It's just going to be exciting all the way around. So, yeah. But, and I had to go to TJ Maxx and get a blue sweater even. I was like, an excuse to shop. An excuse to shop for something.
Well, your mask matches it also. Very nice.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. This is my Mardi Gras mask. I got my crawfish on it.
Oh, great.
How are y'all doing?
Yeah,
well.
fine.
Good.
Yeah, I've just realised that I shouldn't swear on this, should I? Because it's recorded. I fucked up because I realised I have to take my son to his piano lesson, and I thought it was later, and it's earlier now, and so it's gonna piss Luke off because I've got to leave early now. So
But y'all have been here for 50 minutes. I mean, that's pretty good.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm gonna have to get off too.
yeah.
So Andy wore blue. You followed all the other rules.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, Luke's a bit of a stickler. So,
Right, Susan.
Here he comes.
Susan, we'll start with you, yeah?
Okay.
Lovely. Nobody would know that Susan has the value of her house in cocaine hidden in her anus. Nobody would know that Susan has the value of her house in cocaine hidden in her anus.
You're cool.
How did you know?
Off you go.
Personne ne saurait que Susan a le monde qui coûte sa maison dans son cul.
Lovely. So, personne saurait que Susan a la valeur. Go round. Lovely. You know, l'équivalent, le prix équivalent. Go round. You guys, number one thing is communicate. Your number one thing is communicate. Don't care about the rest. I'll always sub you, but like, yeah. Personne saurait or personne s'en rendrait. Personne, se rendrait jamais compte du fait que Susan a la valeur, le prix équivalent, le coût de sa maison en cocaïne, ou de cocaïne, caché, camouflé, camouflage, planté dans son cul, dans son anus. Lovely. Good.
Lovely.
Maggie, I did the same thing once. It took me 3 hours to remove the sachets. I did the same thing once. It took me 3 hours to remove the sachets.
J'ai fait la même chose une fois. Il m'a fallu 6 heures d'enlever, 3 heures d'enlever le sachet.
Yeah. So what I like about this, Maggie, is, pardon me for my mouthful, is all of the grammar problems were fine. Sorry, I'm on the wrong camera because I forget I'm on the laptop. I never use this. I always use the phone. What I like about this, Maggie, is that all of the grammar was fine, but you just didn't remember how many hours it took you to remove it from your arsehole. So, good. So, une fois j'ai fait la même chose, il m'a fallu 3 heures, pour l'enlever. Enlève. Yeah, enlève. It's enlève if it's the short form. Enlever, okay, de mon cul. Yeah, okay. Okay, second. Nina. It would have taken me 5 hours, but a lovely lady in the toilets helped me, gave me a hand. It would have taken me 5 hours, but a lovely lady in the toilets gave me a hand.
Il me faudrait 5 heures, mais une belle femme dans les toilettes m'a donné un coup de main.
Nice phrasal en coup de main. It would have taken me.
Ah oui. Il m'aura fallu. Il m'aurait fallu 5 heures.
That's it. So go again. Il m'aurait fallu 5 heures, mais une femme super sympa, une bonne femme, a general unnamed woman will often say une bonne femme.
Okay.
Ouais, il m'aurait fallu 5 heures, sauf qu'une bonne, sauf que, except that, sauf qu'une bonne femme m'a donné un coup de main, nice un coup de main. Off you go, say it again for me.
Il m'aurait fallu 5 heures, mais une bonne femme dans les toilettes m'a donné un coup de main.
And again, going back to this at business, you might also hit aux toilettes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Jason, I'm sad I didn't manage to finish the chicken last night. And Susan's sad that I didn't manage to finish the chicken last night. Susan, chicken is our Thursday tradition, Susan and I. Right, off we go. Off we go. So I'm sad I didn't manage to finish the chicken last night, and Susan's sad I didn't manage to finish the chicken last night.
Je suis triste de ne pas pouvoir manger le poulet hier soir. Et Suzanne est aussi triste que j'ai pas pu manger le poulet hier soir.
Choice of pouvoir fine, although I'm not against arriver for a more short form, a shorter form. But what do I need, whether it's the same person or a different person, if I'm going into the past?
Auxiliary.
I need the auxiliary, and if it's on the infinitive, I need it on the auxiliary. Yeah, okay. So, and again, so Susan said I was. Yeah, Susan said I wasn't able to finish. No, I'm sad I wasn't able to finish my chicken last night.
Je suis triste de ne pas être arrivé à manger.
No, pause. Now, weirdly, pardon me interrupting, I was going to give the next person that, and I was going to say, do exactly the same sentence that Jason just did, but do it with arriver, just out of interest. But could you do what you just did again with pouvoir first? Is that all right?
Yep. Je suis triste de ne pas. Ouais. Je suis triste de ne pas avoir.
That's it. Je suis triste de ne pas avoir pu finir le poulet hier soir. Si Susan est content que j'ai pas, Susan est triste que j'ai pas pu. Lovely, lovely. And likewise, in other words, we can't have the mouth weighted a little bit more in one direction than the other. Good. Susan, Luke, I can't stand it when you cook something else. Luke, I can't stand it when you cook something else. I feel strange.
Luc, je déteste quand tu cuisines quelque chose d'autre. Je me sens bizarre.
It communicated. Could you just go a little bit back and say, I can't stand it when you cook something else?
Stand it. Il m'énerve.
Again, that's another good story, ça m'énerve. But what are the verbs I want for stand?
I'm not sure.
Don't worry,
I can't stand
Maggie. Can you give me some verbs I can't stand it?
Je ne supporte pas.
Good. Let me hear that.
Supporte pas. Je ne supporte pas.
Supporte pas. Now, I know your voices. And I know that the microphone does odd things in a group. It gives priority to different things. But I need you to be propelling. You know, I need you to be pushing these voices with the nasal and the chest a little bit more further forward. In which case, I'd hear it. There's nothing going on in this group that won't be going on in a shop in France, in a street in France. It's like, Jason's got a really good voice. When I went to Besançon, I was like, okay, it's been really good down the microphone, but I need you to send it forward, because for the first couple of days in Besançon, I kept going, I can't hear you. Okay, and if there's somebody with a naturally sonorous, gorgeous voice box, it's Jason. So I was like, and I literally took a step forward, said, I can still hear you. I should still be able to hear you. Took another step forward, make me still hear you. So whether you are nasal here or mouth here or chest here, send the vibration forward. That's why we vibrate. It's not just to sound more French. This might surprise you, but to a native French speaker, they're not actually, us sounding more French isn't actually on our list of priorities. It's just to make the sound. Yeah, so send it forward. Yes, so Maggie, go again. Je peux pas supporter, and send the vibration forward. Supporter.
Je ne peux pas supporter.
No, so je ne peux pas. So every word has a vibration. What's the vibration in je?
Je.
Right. Hum for me. Just hum where you'd naturally hum. Like. Lovely. Now lift your hum to here. And make it vibrate your head. Good. Now take your hum to your chest. Practice doing this. Open from the hum into a high sound or a low sound. So, for example, go here and then open from here into a tube. Or go from here into an for example. And it should have the same tone or quality. Nina just did that.
Sorry, who did you say could board?
Nina, could you just try it from here going into a tube?
Okay, thank you.
And from here going into an Hum. So different hum locations. So hum in the here. If you need to hum and then lift it up. Have a go. Ironically, your humming sucked, but the vibration on the words is lovely. You went, you hummed on the throat and then went choo beautifully, and then you gave me some shit ass, and then you went beautifully. So basically, in short, I don't give a fuck, but lovely, good. Right. Good. Off you go. So Maggie, supporter, Nina, any other words we could use for stand? I can't stand.
J'en ai marre de.
Good. Going round again, but yeah. Je peux pas tolérer. Or the war criminal Tony Blair. Je peux pas blairer. Yeah, who I can't stand. Yeah. So je peux pas blairer. Oh putain, je peux pas le blairer quand il y a des enfants qui chialent. I can't stand when kids are screaming. You know. Good. Lovely, Nina. No, Maggie, go to do a proper one rather than just doing supported. So for me, oh no, Maggie, have you got a blue scarf as well as the blue sweater? Oh, points. Points, Maggie, points. Okay, Luke, in talking about Luke, in order to please him, I wore a blue scarf. In order to please him, I wore a blue scarf.
Dans le plaisir.
We have the laughter of guilt that only you and Robbie do. It's the laughter of guilt. Off you go. To please. What's the verb to please?
Pour lui.
Yep.
Pour lui.
Maggie, say please. In a normal way in a shop, just say please. How would you say please?
Oh, s'il vous plaît.
Great. And which verb is play from?
Play. Plairait. Plaire.
Right. Pardon me delighting in you guys fail, but another reason why the vowel thing is so important is it gives you a stronger muscle memory. Pour lui plaire. Yeah, just say to me, pour lui plaire.
Pour lui plaire.
Good. Susan is so impressing me. Yeah, really. Lovely. So, in other words, what do we know, Maggie, about the verb plaire? Is it direct or indirect?
It's indirect.
So, say for me, that pleased them in the past. That pleased them.
Ça leur a plu.
Ça leur a plu. Now, you've just done it with your brain. Show me what you're all going to do by yourself at home and heighten the vowel depth and keep the mouth closed. Ça leur a plu.
Ça leur a plu.
And again.
Ça leur a plu.
Good. Remember that French is like somebody on a trombone. Maggie, your daughter, is it the trumpet or the trombone she plays? It's the trumpet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's been times you wanted to throw it out the freaking window. But in English, we have small little mouth, not speaking, quiet. Or when we go big, we'll open our mouth. French is like the big vowels, but the small mouth still. So it's like somebody with a really loud trumpet or somebody with a loud trombone. but the door's closed. So somebody's playing a sliding trombone with the door closed. That's how you've got to think about French. So said me, ça leur a plu. Ça leur a plu.
Ça leur a plu.
Nice. All right. Good. Where else do we use plaire to find someone attractive? So, lovely. So, in order to please him, so pour lui plaire, I wore a blue scarf. How do you say I wore a blue scarf?
J'ai porté une écharpe bleue.
If it's a pretty feminine scarf, well, I shouldn't just say feminine, like, you know.
Foulard.
Foulard.
Oui.
Okay, good. Good.
Luke, I have to confess, I have to go.
That's not a confession. That's fine. That's it. You've done a lot of good work. Off you go. Off you go. Off you go.
Thank you very much.
We will battle on for 8 more minutes until Marky Mark arrives. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely. Don't feel bad, Maggie. The fact that Susan can basically travel on public transport, in a nation's airways, well, you know, but yeah, good. So pour lui plaire, good. Nina. So say for me, I hadn't realized we needed to include accessories with the theme. I hadn't realized we needed to include accessories with the theme, although not being bad, it's quite a fun idea. So I hadn't realized that we needed to include accessories with the theme.
Je me serais pas rendu compte.
I hadn't realized.
Je m'en étais.
No. Je m'en is a lovely muscle memory with that verb. It is a lovely muscle memory, that verb, but we ain't using on now because we've got our thing after it.
Okay. Je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'on devrait porter.
Careful. That we had to is in the past. That we had to.
Okay.
Not devrait, but on dev. What verb sounds similar to devrait? Same verb, different tense. On
devait, ouais.
I hadn't realized that we had to ongoing. So, you know, je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'on devait. Okay, so it's like, remember. When do we use a had? Not just when there's a had in English, because as I say, half the time you won't hear that. But when it's going on before our other action in the past. So our action in the past is as a description. We had to wear accessories or something. On devait, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Ajouter des accessoires. All right. And before that, you know, or it could be yesterday on a dû, we had to, but the week before we had, you know, so it's just the fact that je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'on devait. So Stephanie, I hadn't realized that we needed to, hadn't realized that we had to, what did I say? Let's say I hadn't realized that we had to include accessories. Go with that.
Je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'on devait inclure des accessoires.
Des accessoires. Go again. So, je m'étais pas rendu compte qu'on devait inclure des accessoires. Good. Susan, are you okay to speak in your seat? Yeah? Yeah, good.
Yes.
You've really impressed everybody. You've no idea. You've really impressed everybody. You've no idea. I'm going to be quoting this shit for months. Okay, so I'm going to be like, no, Robbie, I don't care if you've got a poorly toe. Susan was in an aeroplane. Okay, you'll be like, Luke, we've just got a bit of light turbulence, but don't worry, give me another sentence. You know, you'll be so hardcore. Off you go. So, Susan, you've really impressed everybody. You've no idea. You've really impressed everybody. You've no idea.
Tu vas vraiment être impressionnant à tout le monde. Tu n'as aucune idée.
No, tu as vraiment été, and you being a lady, impressionnante. But impress is a verb. You have really impressed everybody. Somebody earlier did something where they used an excitant or an impressionnant in the wrong place, and I remember that I didn't correct it. So yeah, so you really impressed everybody. You really impressed everybody. So in other words, what's the verb to impress? What's the verb to impress?
Impressionné.
Impressionné. Yeah?
Impressionné.
Lovely to say you really impressed everybody.
Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde.
Good. Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. Try again with no pause. Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde.
Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde.
Lovely. You have now say you have no idea.
Tu n'as aucune idée.
Lovely. Tu n'as aucune idée. All one breath. Oh, mais tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. T'as aucune idée. As I said to you last night, the blurry bit, when we've got like slow bit, blah, 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 slow bit, the blurry bit doesn't give a rat's ass about whether or not you're at the end of one sentence or the next. It's in the idea. It's in the idea. And sentences don't care. They don't care. Ideas don't care. You know, this is why the visual thing is a little bit bad as well, because it's like you'll think, oh, I deserve a break. But the thought doesn't know you've just done a subject and a verb and an object. The thought doesn't know that. So in other words, just because you'd finished a sentence legitimately, you hadn't finished the thought. So say for me, you've really impressed me. You've really impressed me. You've no idea. You've really impressed everybody. You've no idea. That is the thought. So not tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. Rest. Tu n'as aucune idée, because that is a new subject pronoun. The thought is, oh, mais putain, mais t'as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. T'as aucune idée. You know, so give me the whole thought, please.
Okay. Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. Tu n'as aucune idée.
Lovely. Battle to not have so much as a flicker between your clauses, you guys. Battle, battle, battle. Your listening will get better and your recall will get better, because all of you are big bads and you should all be doing multiple clauses. Have we go?
Tu as vraiment impressionné tout le monde. Tu n'as aucune idée.
That's lovely. Now that seems so silly, but just that little bit of self-discipline, you know, when practicing will make such a big difference. Good, Jason. Luke, I understand exactly what you mean and I'm going to try not to do it. Luke, I understand exactly what you mean and I'm going to try not to do it.
Luc, je comprends exactement ce que tu veux dire et j'essaie de ne pas le faire.
And I'm going to try to not do it. I'm going to try to not do it. I'm going to try to not do it. I'm going to try to not do it.
Je vais essayer de ne pas le faire.
Good, good, good. My only advice to you guys, and I really, really mean this, don't confuse in your own time, because you should be practicing sentence number ones. When you get videos from me, press damn pause. Yeah, don't go, oh yeah, that's quite good, and then you need the exposure to sentence number ones. So when you get the video from somebody else, even your own stuff again, even your own class again, even this again, this one when you watch it, press pause, sit yourself in the firing line again, you know, and give yourself that first sentence again, and absolutely accept that the brain gets confused. Things we've been working on in the second one, like closed mouth, high and low, lovely twang, lovely tone, we want all of that in the first one. What things we've been working on in the second one, go as fast as we can on occasion, not always, you know, that we don't want in the first one. So it's really weird. It's not like you're being ignorant and you're ignoring me and I'm saying don't race in the first one. I need you to take it gently. Don't throw people around. Don't have a difference between stuff we know and stuff we don't know. You're not ignorant people. You know, you've understood me, but the brain is going, right, I'm going to do all my bestest, westest French things in the first one, and it kind of includes speed in that. Does that make sense? So you have to tell yourself, chillax on the first one, and then you get a better muscle memory. Because if you go, you then go, and as you know, is not a stronger muscle memory stimulus, and it's certainly not silent. So do you sort of see what I mean? And it's not you being ignorant. It's not like, oh, you know, Luke's told us, why do we keep doing it? It's because you just collectively, in this collated manner, trying to bring all these super duper French things in. Okay. It might also just be because you are getting your mouth positions really good, all of you, that the French comes out faster, because it should. It should. It's like teaching someone to swim. If it feels right, they'll go faster. You know, it's like I always say, French is swimming, it's not ballet. Ballet is if it feels right, then it's wrong, because it shouldn't be like that. The body doesn't naturally do these things. But swimming is the other way around. If the stroke feels comfortable for you and you're moving through the water, people always say, how do I know if I'm doing it correctly? I'll say, because you'll move. You'll move. Your body will propel through the water. It's the same to the French. If you're doing it correctly, it'll sound better. If you're doing it correctly, it'll join. If you're doing it correctly, your mouth will be relaxed. It won't feel weird. It's ever so nice. You've just got your own little check thing. But don't do too much speed at the first version, because you'll then just have and it just throws us around, and it's such a mess. That's my number one thing to you guys. And make sure that you're in word number one, that you're in mission number one. My other thing as well, really try and pull away from, did I catch everything he said? Really ask yourself, could I tell this story? Did I get an image of the story that Luke's just told? And half the time the answer is yes. But because we're so used to doing such fine work on what words mean what, that we want to go again and hold on to what words I'm saying. We don't care about that. If I gave you my words, and if you've got the permission to go around my words and come out with something slightly different, because newsflash, you're not saying the same words anyway, you're saying them in French. So it's not even literally like you're quoting directly anyway. In other words, you have my total permission to hear what I'm saying, get a visual, and you should get a visual or an emotional reaction to the story, and then tell the story in a different way if necessary. And the way I know people that don't do this, and no offense, Susan, but this is such a you thing, or it was, you've kind of turned a corner, was people go, I'm sorry, Luke, what was the last bit? And it's like, if you honestly were listening to the concept rather than, and it's not laziness, it's because people are like really onto the words, you wouldn't have that problem. You know, you wouldn't forget the last bit, because you'd have seen flash, 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 storyboard, storyboard, storyboard. All right. And we don't want anybody in this group to be, and I have had them, people that I'm like, do you know what? I'm never going to teach them to work from nothing into French. I'm just going to teach them to be master translators. And I don't want that for any of you guys. I want you to be like, image, describe the image. And that's why, with all love intended, when you get, you know, really well motivated people like your Gabby's one, who's another one? Tess was one for a while, but I think I've got her out of it. People that love the visual. I love a visual. I love notes. I have books and things, you know, to write stuff down. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, you want somebody to shout out a word, and that sound to you will mean that word. So if they just shout out, gel alcool. If someone shouts out gel alcoolisé, I picture this. Yeah, I picture this. I don't picture, hand gel or something like this. I don't picture that word, and I don't hear the English. I picture that thing. So likewise, you know, if somebody shouts out the French for anything, you should picture that thing. And if it means that you visualize that thing in English, so if it means that you visualize the word in English, perish the thought, or even really hear the English word, really, no. Just look at something long enough. Just tasse. Somebody then goes, Luke, t'as une tasse? Oui, do you know what I mean? That's honestly what you should be aiming for, and that you can do with feelings and sentiments, not just individual nouns like bag or bag or no. You know. Oh ouais, tu vois, ouais, je me sens triste. Feel it, mimic it. Je me sens triste. So that when someone says, oh, je me sens triste, you go, oh, wait, tu te sens triste? Rather than, oh, yeah, I feel sad. Yeah, okay, push away from that. Good. Let's say next week's colour is, let's go with a maroony colour, yeah? Let's go with the dark red maroony colour. Not red, not like pillar box red, like a Bordeaux. Yeah, a Bordeaux-y kind of colour, yes? Good. Bloody well done, all of you. Lots of love. Well done, Susan. Fly safely, my darling.